Okay, shall we start? Hmm. Today we deal with the concept related to Euler's phi function. Euler's phi function. What do we say? We define for greater than 1, let phi of n denotes the number of positive integers not exceeding n that are relatively prime to n. Okay. What we are saying? We are defining that Euler phi function phi n is the number of positive integers which are less than n and relatively prime to n. Okay. So, for example, if we want to compute for phi of 8, then you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are the numbers which are less than 8. Now, you can see that GCD of 8 with 1, this gives 1. When you compute GCD with 2, then its value is 2. But GCD 8 with 3 is 1. GCD 8 with 4 is how much? 4. GCD 8 with 5 is 1. GCD 8 with 6 is how much? 2. And GCD 8 with 7 is 1. Now, which number are relatively prime to n? The number which have GCD 1. That means the numbers 1, 3, 5, and 7. These numbers are relatively prime to n, relatively prime to 8, and less than 8. Now, how many numbers are there? Here, I have 4 numbers. Here we have 4 numbers. So, we can say phi of 8 equals to 4. Clear? Clear to all? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Similarly, if you want to compute the value for phi of 10, suppose. So, for phi of 10, you can see when you take GCD 10 with 1 is 1. When you take GCD with 2 gives 2. When you take GCD with 3 is 1. GCD 10 4 is 2. GCD 10 5 is 5. Similarly, GCD 10 6 is how much? 10 6 is 2. GCD 10 7 is 1. GCD 10 8 is 2. GCD 10 9 is 1. That means after computing GCD, we can say which number relatively prime. Here 1, here 1, here 1, and here 1. So the numbers 1, 3, 7, and 9. 1, 3, 7, and 9. These 4 numbers are relatively prime to 10, So we have phi of n equals to 4. Clear? The concept of Euler phi function. Huh? The number of positive integers less than n and relatively prime to n. This is the definition of our Euler phi function. Okay. Now we can list some Euler phi function of some numbers. Okay. So we can write phi of 1 equal to 1. Phi of 2 is how much? Only 1. Phi of 3, 1 is relatively prime to 3, 2 is relatively prime to 3, and the number are 2. Similarly, phi of 4, for 4, what you take? 1 is relatively prime to 4, 2, no, 3 is relatively prime to 4, yes. So, 2. Similarly, phi of 5, 1 is relatively prime to 5, yes, 2 is relatively prime to 5, 3 is relatively prime to 5, 4 is relatively prime to 5, so phi of 5 equals to 4. Similarly, phi of 6, 1 is relatively prime to 6, yes, 2, no, 3, no, 4, no, 5, yes, so phi of 6 equals to how much? 2. Similarly, phi of 7, 1 is yes, 2 yes, 3 yes, 4 yes, 5 yes, 6 yes. So phi of 7 equal to 6. Similarly, we have already computed phi of 8, 1, 2 no, 3 yes, 4 no, 5 yes, 6 no, 7 yes. Getting it? So phi of 8 equal to 4. Similarly, for phi of 9, we have 1 yes, 2 yes, 3 no, 4 yes, 5 yes, 6 no, 7 yes, 8 yes. Then how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I have 9 equal to 6. Getting it? How I am calculating? Huh? Similar way, we can compute, but this is for your information only. But in future, to compute the Euler phi function, we will apply some formula. Okay. So for that one, we need to prove some theory. Now, some cases, this function is called also Euler Totient function, Totient, or sometimes indicator function. Okay, Euler phi function is sometimes called Totient function or indicator function. Now, you can clearly see that if n is a prime number, then phi of n equals to n minus 1, because as n is a prime number, only if n is a prime number, then all the numbers less than n are relatively prime to n. And how many numbers are there? There are n minus 1 numbers. So for n is prime, phi of n equals to n minus 1. So from this, you can have phi of 3 equals to 2, phi of 2 equals to 1, phi of 5 equals to 4, phi of 7 equal to 6, phi of 11 equals to 10, phi of 13 equals to 12, and so on. So we have simple one formula. If n is a prime number, then we have phi n equals to n minus 1. Clear? Clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Now there is another theorem. Okay, I'm using my board. Okay, now there is another theorem. What it says? If P is a prime, and K is greater than 0, then phi of P to the power K equals to P to the power K minus P to the power K minus 1. Okay, that means this theorem states, okay, not visible clearly. So we have one theorem. What it says? If P is a prime and K is greater than 0, then phi of P to the power K will be P to the power K minus P to the power K minus 1, or that is simply P to the power K taking outside 1 minus 1 divided by P. Okay, let's clearly see this statement. If P is a prime number and K is positive or K is greater than 0, then phi of P to the power K equal to P to the power K minus P to the power K minus 1. Now we will prove this. Okay, so for proving part, we can say clearly our GCD of n and P to the power K equal to 1 if and only if P does not divide n. Now there are P to the power K minus 1 integers between 1 and P to the power K that divides that are 1 and P to the power K that are divisible by P, and these are P, 2P, 3P, 4P up to P to the power K minus 1, 2P. So thus the set your 1, 2, 3 up to P to the power K contains exactly P to the power K minus P to the power K minus 1 integers that are relatively prime to P to the power K. And so by the definition of the phi function, we have phi of p to the power k will be p to the power k minus p to the power k minus 1. Or by simplifying, we have taken p to the power k outside, 1 minus 1 divided by p. Okay. What we have proved? If p is a prime number and k is greater than 0, then phi of p to the power k is p to the power k minus p to the power k minus 1. Now, knowing this, suppose someone asks you, what is the value of phi 27? Simply, 27 can be written as 3 cube. So here p value is 3 and k value is 3. So using this you have phi of 27 is phi of 3 to the power 3, that is equals to 3 to the power 3 taking outside 1 minus 1 by 3, and that is equal to 3 cube 1 minus 1 by 3, that is 2 by 3, or 27 into 2 by 3, 9 into 2, that is 18. Clear? Everyone getting it? Please. Clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Similarly, what about phi to the phi of 16? Phi of 16 equal to how much? Simple. Phi of 16. 16 can be written as 2 to the power 4. Okay? That means simple. 2 to the power 4 taking outside 1 minus 1 by 2. That is 2 to the power 4 into 1 by 2. That is equals to 8. Clear? Clear now?
Yes, sir.
That means
Yes, sir.
we have now two theories. One is if n is a prime number, then phi n equal to n minus 1. If n is power of some prime number, then this is the formula, p to the power k into 1 minus 1 by p. Okay? Now, after these two theorems, again we go to next theory. Okay. Next theory. This is one important theorem. ध्यान से रखो. This is an important theorem. The theorem states that this theorem says that the function phi is a multiplicative function. Okay? Now, there is one term, multiplicative function. When we say a function is multiplicating, simple, if m and n are relatively prime, then some function f of m into n equal to fm into fn, then we say the function is multiplicative. Okay? Getting it? If two numbers m and n are relatively prime means simple you can say there is no factor common between these two numbers, then a function f of mn will be equals to fm into fn, then the function is called multiplicative. Now we have to prove that or this theorem states that m and n are two numbers relatively prime numbers. Then to prove that phi of mn equal to phi m into phi n when where m and n have no common factor. Okay, but definitely you can say other than 1 because 1 is a common factor between these two numbers as usual. So CCD of mn equal to 1, then we have to show that phi of mn equal to phi m. Question clear? Question clear
Yes,
now?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we will prove this. Now we will prove this. For proving part, we can say as phi of 1 is equal to always 1, the result is obvious if either m or n is equal to 1. As we all know that if phi 1 equal to 1, then if m or n, anyone is 1, then what can you say? Phi of mn. But suppose I am taking m equal to 1, then this gives phi of m into 1, that is phi of m. But that can be written as phi m into 1 or phi mn equal to phi m into, I am taking m equal to 1, so this is phi of mn, we are taking m equals to 1, so phi of 1 into n, or this gives phi of n. Okay, but phi of n can be written as 1 into phi of n, and in place of 1 you can write phi m into phi n. So it is obvious. Okay, it is obvious when we are taking either m or n is equal to 1. Clear? Clear to all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so we assume that both m and n are greater than equal to 1. Okay. Now what we are assuming? We are assuming that m and n both are greater than 1. So now what we do? Now we arrange the integers from 1 to mn in the following way, in the following manner. How we are arranging? We are arranging, look here, 1, 2, 3, up to r to n. Now next number is m plus 1, next m plus 2, next m plus 3, up to here m plus r, yes, 2m. Next, similarly, 2m plus 1, 2m plus 2, 2m plus 3, here 2m plus r, here 3m. Okay, in this way we are arranging. So in the last row we have n minus 1m plus 1, next n minus 1m plus 2, next n minus 1m plus 3. In a similar way, n minus n minus 1 into m plus r, and last is nm. Look here, what we are doing? We are arranging the number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to mn in this way. We are taking m number of column and n number of rows. Okay, we are taking m number of we are taking m, how many row here? 1, 2, 3 up to n number of row, n number of row, and m number of column. Okay, now from here now what we have to find? We have to find 5 mm. Yes or no? We have to find 5 mm. Now what is 5 mm? As 5 mm is equal to the number of entries in this area that are relatively prime to mn. Yes or no? By definition, 5 mn is equal to the number of entries here which are relatively prime to mn. Now you can see that. This is same as the number of integers that are relatively prime to both m and n. Now you can see that. Now you can see that. Because GCD of some QM plus R and M is equal to GCD of R and M. Already we proved in our Euclidean algorithm case. These numbers in Rth column are relatively prime to M if and only if R itself is relatively prime to M. Okay, as we know, GCD of QM plus R with M equal to GCD of R and M. So the number in Rth column here, the number in Rth column are relatively prime to M if and only if this R itself is relatively prime to M. So there are only 5 M columns contains integers relatively prime to m, and every entry in the column will be relatively prime to m. So you can say the problem is one of showing that in each of these 5m columns there are exactly 5n integers that are relatively prime to n. For then you can say there would be 5m into 5n numbers in the table that are relatively prime to both m and n. Okay, clear? Clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Now you can say now see now you see now the entries in the rth column are how much? R m plus r 2m plus r up to n minus 1 m plus r. There are n integers in this sequence, and no two are congruent modulo n. Now you can say if km plus r equal to congruent to suppose jm plus r mod n with 0 less than equal to k less than j less than n, it follows that you can say km congruent to jm mod n, and as your GCD of m and n equals to 1, we can cancel m from both sides to get what we get? Cancel n, k congruent to j mod n. Thus the number in the rth column, does the number in rth column are congruent to 0, 1, 2 up to n minus 1 in some order. Okay. Now you can say, but if suppose some s is congruent to p mod n, then GCD of s and n equal to 1 if and only if GCD Tn equal to 1. This implies that there are rth column. This implies that the rth column contains as many integers that are relatively prime to n, and as does the set 0, 1, 2 up to n minus 1, and these are phi n integers. Okay. Yes. Therefore, we can say, therefore the total number of entries in the array that are relatively prime to both m and n is how much? Phi m into phi n, and this completes the proof. Okay. This is one long question. Frequently you can face this type of question. Okay, एग्जाम में ये सब आ रहा है ऐसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन. ठीक है. Everyone clear? Hello? Everyone getting this?
Yes, sir.
Now key point is this one. Huh? The key point is this formation of this table. Key point is formation of this table, this type of product. Because we want to find how many numbers are relatively prime to mn. Okay. So arranging this way. So first we are saying that phi m number are relatively prime for each column. Phi m numbers are relatively prime to m, and for each row phi n. So total phi m into phi n numbers are relatively prime to m, and these are all the literature or systematic proof of this theorem. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next class we will continue with this theorem. There are much more theory. Okay, or if you say I'm giving you the last portion. Okay, 5 minutes ले रहा हूँ, ज़्यादा नहीं. Next class में तो ये हो जाएगा. You take this one. Knowing this, you can have one theorem. But it says, suppose n be any integer, okay, and n has a prime factorization p1 alpha 1, p2 alpha 2 up to pk alpha k, suppose. Huh? Getting it? P1, any number has a prime factorization p1 alpha 1, p2 alpha 2, pk alpha k. Now for that one we have the general formula. Phi of n formula will be what you can say. Just apply this one. Phi of p1 alpha 1, p2 alpha 2, 2 up to pk alpha k. So breaking it, you got phi of p1 alpha 1 into phi of p2 alpha 2, because this is a multiplicative function, phi of pk alpha k. Now apply the previous formula. Phi of p1 alpha 1 is p1 to the power alpha 1 into 1 minus 1 by p1. Getting it? Here p2 power alpha 2 into 1 minus 1 by p2, or up to pk alpha k into 1 minus 1 by pk. So taking all together, what you can have? P1 alpha 1, P2 alpha 2 up to pk alpha k with 1 minus 1 by p1, 1 minus 1 by p2 up to 1 minus 1 by pk. So what we got the formula? This much as n into 1 minus 1 by p1, 1 minus 1 by p2 up to 1 minus 1 by pk. This is the formula corresponding to the formula or generalized formula or general formula, master formula. You can apply this formula to compute Euler phi function of any number, okay, any positive integer. Clear? Huh? Clear ना? Suppose
Yes, sir.
देखो ये फॉर्मूला यूज करके क्या कर सकते हैं? Suppose you want to find, or suppose कोई पूछेगा phi of 100 equal to how much? Okay, 100 को क्या लिख पाओगे? 100 फैक्टराइज करोगे 2, 50, 2, 25, 5, 5. So phi of 100 is phi of 2 square, 5 square. Okay, so simply 100 is written as 2 square into 5 square. So phi of 100 is nothing but 100 into 1 minus 1 by 2 into 1 minus 1 by 5. Easy? 100, 1 by 2, 4 by 5, 10, 10 into 4, 40. Getting it? Easy? Suppose someone asks you what is the value of phi of, suppose एक वैल्यू लेते हैं लंबा चौड़ा वैल्यू. ओके, एक नंबर तुम खुद बोलो. प्लीज गिव वन नंबर. थोड़ा बड़ा होना चाहिए. Okay, 5360. How much? Okay, first work is make the factorization. 360 is written as 360, 180, 290, 245, 315, 3, 5. नहीं, that means 360 equal to 2 to the power cube into 3 square 5 power 1. Okay, so simple, apply the formula. Phi of 360 is 360 into 1 minus 1 by 2, 1 minus 1 by 3, 1 minus 1 by 5. Right? Or this gives 360 into 1 by 2, 2 by 3, and 4 by 5. Okay. Now, we are subtracting. This gives 96. Ready? Huh? Too much question, you can face this type of question. Okay. Complete? Everyone getting this? Or any doubt? Please. Everyone getting this, or have you any doubt? Please. Sibun?
No, sir.
Hmm? बुझेला ना
हाँ सर बुझेला।
तो नेक्स्ट क्लास रे आमे यार कंटिन्यू आउरी करियार अछि यूलर फाइव फंक्शन को नै कि हमर जनरलाइजेशन ऑफ ए फॉर्मेट लिटिल थ्योरम फॉर्मेट लिटिल थ्योरम कोन थिला a to the power p minus 1 congruence 1 mod p सेटा थिला ना now we will generalize this formula or using this Euler 5 function we will write or Euler has written this okay Euler has generalized the Fermat Little theorem and that is called Euler generalization of Fermat theorem. Okay, next class we will study that. Clear? Everyone getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.